Reading from the Japa Reform Notebook by His Holiness Satsarup Das Goswami Maharaj. The second offense is to take the names of the demigods like Brahma and Shiva to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu or Krishna. We see this offense especially in those mistaught in the name of Hinduism or Vedic culture that there are many gods and they are all the same. No, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are many names, but only the names of the Supreme Lord are in the category of Harinam Kirtan, and they cannot be compared to these names that one chants for material benefit. The name of Krishna is not different from Krishna. It is actually Krishna himself. So one has to understand the place of the holy name. It is not a name designating a god. It is actually God, Krishna. The sound vibration is not different from Krishna. The Supreme Lord has different names, but one should not distinguish between them. He shouldn't confuse the names of demigods with the names of God, or he becomes like the atheist. He does not actually understand the value of the name of God. God is one. He is supreme. His name, we have already explained, is different from any other name. It is purifying, liberating, and can't be compared with any other meditation or mantra. So if you take the name of an ordinary being or even an exalted demigod like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, if you confuse the name of a demigod with the name of God, this is offensive to the holy name. The demigods are also expansions of Krishna, neither independent of nor equal to Krishna. God is one, supreme. He has no competitor.
Hare Krishna. Why would one go to some demigod instead of going to lotus feet of Krishna? This has something got to do with one's own mentality. You will see when even Duryodhana went to Krishna in Dwaraka, he thought it is useless to have Krishna on his side because Krishna is not going to lift any weapons. So he thought it is better to have this 10,000 Narayani Sena members. So he was materially calculative. Even in the Kurukshetra battlefield, in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Duryodhana spoke about Bhima, he spoke about Arjuna, he spoke about his own side people, Dronacharya, Bhishma, and so many other great warriors, Kripacharya. Although he is giving elaboration about all the great warriors on both sides, he missed out on a very important person. Who is that? Krishna. Because he thought anyway Krishna is not going to lift any weapons. He is simply a charioteer. So he didn't pay any value to Krishna. He considered him useless. But actually, little did he know, the whole Kurukshetra battlefield is centered around Krishna. He is the pivotal figure who is actually shaking the whole world, the whole universe, millions of universes. So because of his miscalculation, which arose from a material viewpoint, therefore Duryodhana was foolish. Ultimately he was destroyed. In the same manner, the living entities in this world feel that if we want to be successful in this world, we have to approach big materialists who are capable of awarding me a position, awarding me some benefits, rather than simply go to God in the temple and pray. So they think that work hard and enjoy. That is their formula. Don't depend on the grace of God. So therefore the industrial revolution came in our country mainly because people failed to depend on the natural gifts offered by God in the form of rains and grains and fruits and cereals and navaratnas and gold and silver. So many things Lord is giving through the nature. But man wanted slaughterhouses and clubs and brothels and beer bars and permit rooms and retreat centers and all these kinds of dirty engagements. They came about because of material outlook to life. So you will see generally the demons go to demigods because they want the material benefits instantly. Whereas those who are in love with the Supreme Lord, they never seek any material commodities. They are simply satisfied in exchanging love with the Supreme Lord, like Arjuna chose Krishna on his side of the battle. So the second offense has got a lot to do with this mentality of spiritual outlook or material outlook. Spiritual outlook has only one commodity for exchanging, which is pure love. And material outlook has many material hetu or material motives which one wants to exchange with demigods. One wants to make a display of one's so-called affection to demigod by offering some puja, offering some procedures and everything, and in turn is looking for a long list of material benefits from them. Demigods doesn't only mean Brahma or Shiva or Ganesha or Indra or Kartikeya or anybody. Even in this world there are many politicians, and many sports stars and cinema stars. People are ready to go and wag their tail, lick their boots, and serve them, assist them, hoping for some monetary benefits or some position or power which they may award them as a bhiksha. So there are many people who go to assist them, work them. They will never put their foot in the temple of God, but they will go and be willing to put their sweat and toil for some material hero. So Prabhupada says all these material heroes will become zeros. Only an intelligent person will surrender to Krishna, who is the true hero. Nayakanam Shiro Ratnam. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So therefore, if a person is convinced Krishna is the supreme, there is no one equal to him or beyond him, then he will not commit the second offense. Because he knows that it's useless to take shelter of anyone else other than Krishna. For example, the Brahmana in Dwaraka was losing his sons one after another, first and second and third and fourth. So when 3 sons were lost, he was really angry. He said, "Who is ruling this world? Useless kings. Kshatriyas speak big words, but they could not protect my dying sons." Like that he was shouting. So hearing that, Arjuna came forward. He was feeling a little unhappy. How can he criticize Kshatriyas like this? I am here. So he took his bow and arrow and went around the maternity ward, round and round. He promised them that your 4th son will never die. I am there. If he dies, then I will enter fire. But his 4th son also died. Then the Brahmana again came to Arjuna and shouted, "It is useless to take shelter of you. You promised that you will protect my 4th son. Where is the protection? You people talk big words, but you Kshatriyas cannot do the real protection." So Arjuna put his head down. So Arjuna had tried taking shelter of Shiva and other gods for helping the Brahmana, but none of them could help actually. When Arjuna was about to enter fire, Krishna said, "I am here next to you, why don't you ask me?" Then Arjuna asked, "Is there possibility of getting the 4th son?" Krishna said, "Come with me," and he put him in his chariot and took him beyond the Brahma Jyoti to the world of Mahavishnu, and he got the 4 sons back. Now somebody may ask, why should Arjuna take shelter of someone else other than Krishna? That is only to teach foolish conditioned souls who always have a tendency to go to someone else other than Krishna. So he wants to teach us that finally he took shelter of Krishna and could do something which was impossibility. So therefore, those who are devotees of Krishna should develop a very firm faith that if at all something can happen in this world, that can only happen by the sanction of Krishna. And by that type of fixity in Krishna's lotus feet, a devotee's mind becomes calm, cool, collected, like a bird who has found his nest where he can rest peacefully. Otherwise, all other shelters are temporary shelters, false shelters, disturbing shelters, and they will not give that type of peace and happiness that one is always longing for. So the chanting of the holy name should be done with this mood. Krishna, you are my only shelter, and no other shelter is as safe as your lotus feet. Harinam Prabhu ki.